Hello, welcome back. In this lesson, I'd like to go over Intro to Simultaneous Equations. First, what does simultaneous mean? That just means multiple at the same time. Now, what is an equation? From the previous video, you may remember that that's when we have an equal sign. That really is all there is to it, actually. Now, the purpose of simultaneous equations is solving them for each of the variables. Our final goal. There is one really important rule regarding if simultaneous equations can be solved, and that is the number of equations have to equal the number of variables. So what I mean by the number of equations having to equal the number of variables is when you have more variables when you do equations, then you can't solve for it. For example, x plus y equals 6. This equation can't be solved because we have two variables and only one equation, because x and y could be anything. X could be 5, y could be 1, or x could be 10 and y could be -4, and so on. And that's why the values of x and y are undefined. But the moment you have another equation, this, you can solve for x and y, because you have two variables and two equations. There are two methods of solving simultaneous equations. The first one is elimination, and the second one is substitution. Now, what is elimination? That's getting rid of variable by adding or subtracting the equations. The second one is substitution, which is simply rearranging one equation to make a variable the subject, and then substituting that variable into the other equation. So next, we'll show you how to do both of these methods. We want to solve x and y. Okay, so one thing that is a good habit is to label each equation with a number. So let's say this top one is equation 1 and this one is equation 2. So remember, elimination is getting rid of a variable by adding or subtracting the two equations. So let's see how that's done. We can see that if we subtract these, we will get rid of the x, because x minus x is 0. Equation 2 minus equation 1. And I like to write the operation here when dealing with simultaneous equations, so it's really clear what is being done. Rewrite this. So we're doing 2 minus 1. So from equation 2, we do x minus x, which is just 0. And then 2y minus y, and then equals 10 minus 6, 4. That means we have solved for y, which is 4. So now we know y equals 4. And to get x, we can substitute this back into any of these equations. It's wisest to choose the easiest one, which would be equation 1. Equation 1, x plus y equals 6, but we know that y equals 4, right? X plus 4 equals 6, therefore x must equal 6 minus 4, which is just 2. And remember, after you solve for your variables, it's a really good habit to double check that these are in fact correct. So let's do just that. So equation 1, we have x plus y equals 6, and we know that x equals 2 and y equals 4. So 2 plus 4 equals 6, and that's correct. And then we can check the second equation, which is x plus y equals 10. X equals 2 plus 2 times y, which is 4, must equal 10. So we have 2 plus 2 times 4, which is 8, and it equals 10. So this is also correct. We know that x equals 2 and y equals 4 satisfies these two equations. I hope this made sense. Let's move on to how substitution would work. Alright, how would we tackle this by substitution? Well, remember that substitution is rearranging one equation to make a variable the subject, and then substituting into the other equation. So let's see how that's actually done here. We can rearrange any of these equations for any variable to make the subject. And again, it's always wisest to choose the easiest one for convenience. Let's choose equation 1. And we can either make x the subject or y the subject, since they're equally easy to do. Let's just make x the subject. So we have x equals 6 minus y. And then we can substitute this into equation 2. Which means, so equation 2 was x plus 2y equal 10. But from equation 1, this x here must equal this 6 minus y, because x equals that. 6 minus y plus 2y equal 10, and then y minus y and 2y, that is y. 6 minus y equal 10. Oh, sorry, plus y. And then y equals 10 minus 6, which is just 4. And now the same procedure as before. We know y equals 4, and then we can substitute that back. So x plus 4 equals 6. X is simply just 2. And we are done. with elimination. From elimination, we have x equals 2 and y equals 4. And from substitution, which we just did, x is also 2 and y equals 4. Now, for substitution, we rearranged the equation 1 for x, but let's see if we rearrange it for y instead. So for equation 1, we want to rearrange for y instead. So that's y equal 6 minus x. And then we want to substitute into equation 2. 1 to equation 2. Same as before, but instead we have y. X plus 2y equal 10. And y is 6 minus x. And we simply substitute into this. X plus 2, 6 minus x, all times together, equals 10. And what do we have here? Well, remember, this is simply a matter of expanding these brackets from that previous lesson about simple expansion. And let's make this homework so that you can practice solve. So from here, solve for x, and then use that x to get to y. And check if you get the same result as before. It would have been x equals 2 and y equals 4. Simply to continue from here, and you'll know if you did it right if from here you can get to the same result. I really hope this introduction to simultaneous equations was helpful. If it was, then please like, share and subscribe. Until the next lesson, I'll see you.